welcome to episode 93 of the podcast. And this is Omobi. So we're starting off our discussions for the year with a review of the protocol on free movement that was adopted by the African Union in 2018. And we will also look at the Visa Openness Index, which is an initiative of the African Development Bank and the African Union Commission. Okay, I'm sure some of you may be wondering why this. The reason we also need to look at this issue of visa-free movement for Africans, because there's been so much talk from different quarters, even from people wondering like, oh, we are talking about the AFCFTA. Yet there are barriers to free movement of Africans within Africa. There are quite a number of challenges, difficulties, stringent visa requirements and conditions, the cost of travel and all whatnot. So some people tell you, they begin to wonder, so how then does the AFCFTA, how is it going to be successful if African countries are not opening up their countries for Africans? And so we have to look at, so we're just going to do a detailed review. Let's look at what the protocol on free movement is about, and let's also look at the Visa Openness Index. I'll just introduce it today, then we'll go into further details from next week. I'll also be bringing some guests online who are going to come and speak to the realities on ground. Right now, there are about 5 of them that are visa-free for Africans. We have Rwanda, Kenya, Gambia, Benin, and Seychelles. However, that has rescinded for Seychelles has rescinded its visa-free movement for Nigerians. So there's 5 of them. But what are the realities on ground? Is it really? So we're also going to look at that and bring people that have tried to visit those countries based on the visa-free policy of the governments. Yes, and amongst the all talked about AFCFTA. So let's just look at what the free movement protocol is about. Okay, the objective of the free movement protocol is basically to facilitate the implementation of the treaty establishing the African Economic Community by providing for the progressive implementation of free movement of persons, right of residence, and right of establishment in Africa. So there are about 33 member states that have signed the protocol, but only 4 have, however, ratified it. And it's been stated in different quarters that the countries, some of them are experiencing fears. You don't want to leave your borders open porous. You don't want mass influx of citizens from one country to the other. So there's been various information about that. So the countries that have ratified, they are Rwanda, Niger, Mali, and Sao Tome and Principe. So those are the countries. So what is the principle behind the protocol on free movement? The principles are the implementation of the protocol shall be guided by non-discrimination, respect for laws and policies on the protection of national security, public order, public health, the environment, and any other factors that would be detrimental to the whole state, and transparency. So those are some of the guiding principles of the protocol. So we will look at them fully, but let me just quickly move on to. I was going to just share about the Visa Openness Index, or rather, let me speak to non-discrimination. So under Article 4, state parties shall not discriminate against nationals of another member state entering, residing, or established in their territory on the basis of nationality, race, ethnic group, color, sex, language, religion, political, or any other opinion, national and social origin, fortune, birth, or other status as provided by Article 2 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. And however, it shall not be a discrimination for a state party as a result of reciprocity or deeper integration to give more favorable treatment to nationals of another state party or region, in addition to the rights provided for in this protocol. So if two state parties decide to operate a policy of reciprocity and they give a more favorable right to them, to their own nationals, it doesn't mean that there's discrimination to others. And of course, a citizen of another state party entering, residing, or established in a state party in accordance with the provisions of the protocol shall enjoy the protection of the law of the host state party in accordance with the relevant national policies and laws of the host state party. Okay, let me quickly introduce the African Visa Openness Reports 2023. I'm just going to do the introductions today, then we'll proceed further from next episode. So the Africa Visa Openness Index, which is an initiative of the African Development Bank and the African Union Commission, is the report that measures the extent to which African countries are open to visitors from other African countries. So the index analyzes each country's visa requirements to show which countries on the continent facilitates travel to their territory. I just wanted to share one quote by Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, that's the president of ADB in the index. It says that trade is not done in a vacuum. It is people that trade. Apart from the fact that you need connectivity, you also need freedom for people to move from one place to the other. So I'm sure we must agree with people that are saying you're talking about AFCFTA, but there are barriers to Africans traveling within Africa. But however, this is where we must also acknowledge the fact that the state parties or African countries, they are also trying as much as they can in respect of addressing this. We cannot discountenance the fears that some of them are experiencing. But however, let's look at highlights from the 2023 African Visa Openness Index, and we'll share more details next week. Okay, in the report it says in 2023 the continent averaged its highest AVOI score to date. AVOI is African Visa Openness Index. The top 10 performers averaged the score of 0.9110 out of a possible 1.00. That's almost twice the continental average. Okay, and 7 of the continent's top 10 performers are from West Africa. So 24 countries now offer an e-visa. That's almost 3 times as many as in 2016. 33 countries offer visa-free travel to citizens of at least 10 other countries. Rwanda joined Benin, the Gambia and Seychelles in extending visa-free travel to citizens of the entire continent. And finally, within ECOWAS, 97% of country-to-country travel routes are visa-free for citizens of the ECOWAS region. All right, so this is where I'm going to stop for today. We'll look at all this information in details from next week, and we'll also bring guests online to come and share the realities on ground. And as usual, the podcast is for educational purposes only. If you want to speak more on it, or you want to talk about accessing other African countries in respect of market access reports and country research, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. I am Omobola Adekola, and until next week, I say to you, bye-bye.